CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
And good day to you and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Gloria Neal, and today we're going to be talking about the Hope Scholarship. CBS 46 reporter Mike Dunstan tells us the Hope Scholarship could run out of money by the year 2028.
I did really good in high school, and so they gave me the benefit of hope to come and try to get some free schooling in.
Mael Kimbrough Meyer is a GSU linguistics major and a Hope Scholar. Her concentration is Chinese, but she also speaks the language of dollars and cents.
I know it covers my tuition and books.
A new report from the Committee to Preserve Hope Scholarship says the money will be gone in 12 years.
It's such a big program, such a quality program for folks. Let's have a thoughtful discussion if we do know there could be trouble looming.
Here are some of the key findings from report author Nancy Badisher. Hope suffered an 89% drop in full tuition scholarships when the state raised the grade point average requirements in 2011. That forced thousands of students out of the program. For the 2016 school year, Hope will cover only 71% to 88% of tuition costs, and that's depending on the college or university. About 62% of Georgia's college students have loans, and the average student debt is $26,518. The report finds the program has grown more popular with Georgia's population boom and parents prepping kids to get good grades earlier.
I want to have two, the twins, a boy and a girl, and then just like be it.
What if the scholarship is not available for them?
Especially with twins, that would be really hard. I don't know. I guess I would just like start saving when they were little if it looked like it was going in that direction.
But it won't have to go in that direction, says Nancy Badisher, if state lawmakers step up to the plate.
There are people in the legislature who were Hope recipients. They know the value of hope. And that's what I think this is it's a wake-up call to say, keep your eye on the prize. You know, let this be a baseline for some serious discussions about what we want and what we got from Hope and what it can do for kids.
It can do a lot. A scary proposition indeed for any parent or parents with children who will be in college age over the next 5 to 10 years. And that's exactly why we're going to devote the next half hour to the Hope Scholarship. The author of that study just featured in the report you saw, Nancy Badisher. And so, Nancy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
So get this, because it sounds like the Hope Scholarship really is a victim of its own success. Talk a little bit about some of the challenges surrounding the Hope Scholarship.
Well, it has been widely successful from the very beginning in 1993 when it was proposed. People globbed to it. It was a great opportunity to get money, to help out with college, and it also changed the mindset in Georgia that college was now a possibility for many students who never really considered it. The objective back then was to avoid the brain drain, keep the top students in school, and there's been some research that says that's happened.
Well, and let's talk about, before we get too far, the two tiers associated with the Hope Scholarship. You've got the Zell Miller piece of it, and then you've got Hope Light. Discuss that, so for people who may not be aware of the history.
Absolutely. When the legislature was faced with the prospect of making changes to the program in 2011, they broke it into two parts. The Zell Miller Scholarship, which is now reserved for the top student, a student who can maintain a 3.7 grade point average in high school and then keep a 3.3 in college. That leaves the rest of the students in what some people refer to, as you said, Hope Light.
Right.
And that scholarship goes up and down every year depending on lottery proceeds. For the current fall, the expectation is that at Georgia, University of Georgia and Georgia Tech, it'll pay about, well, I'm sorry, at Georgia Tech it'll pay 71%, and the highest it'll pay is 88%. It depends on the college you attend.
Okay. And so
those
that's,
students,
and that's how, I'm sorry, so, and I'll let you come back to that, but that's how the Georgia Lottery gets involved in this.
Oh, right. The lottery, it's totally funded by the lottery.
Okay.
That was Governor Miller's brainchild. If you were going to do a lottery, do something we've never done before, and it's arguably the best program the state's created in my lifetime.
Absolutely. And go ahead and finish your thoughts surrounding what you were going to
say.
say.
I was just going to say, for the Hope, the regular Hope, or Hope Light as some people like to call it, you still have to have the 3.0, which was what Governor Miller said when he said, if you work hard in school, there should be a payoff. And that maintained for those students, but just now they're not getting the 100% tuition coverage. You
know what, though? It's so very promising just to hear, to have that insightfulness of someone, whether it's a politician or even a community, a person who's involved in the community, to say, if you work hard in school, it does matter. right? That
Right.
there is the payoff that says we will help you get to that next stage if in fact you aspire to go to college.
Right, right. Zellmiller was an old Marine, and he thought hard work pays off, and he wanted to show it to Georgia students. And again, he could arguably go down as one of the greatest governors in Georgia, at least in modern history.
And so you talked a little bit about, before we wrap up this last segment, or first segment, the percentage of tuition costs does the Hope Scholarship cover. Go ahead and elaborate a little bit more on that.
Okay, so each year the legislature has to look at what the lottery brought in the previous year. Lottery in this year, as you know, we publicized they had $1 billion from the lottery in 2016. Mm-hmm. So each year the legislature looks at it and says, what can we now pay for hope? So the first year that the changes were enacted, it went down to 90%, and now it's 71% to 80%, depending on what school you go to.
Oh, wow. So, but that's still, I mean, even with that, that's still a good substantial amount of money that could be, you know, put to some very good use for those who would be challenged.
Absolutely.
That's very, very good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, because now that we've identified a potential problem, what are we going to do about it? Stay with us. That is coming up next on Public Affairs on Peach.